It's time to do the driver ratings of the F1 2021 Spanish Grand Prix. 20 drivers. Let's kick off with the worst one, Mazepin.
Mazepin, worst driver. Did he have the worst race this weekend? I'm not too sure. Qualifying, he was last, 7 tenths off his teammate, but he had no real issues, he had no real mistakes in qualifying, and the same in the race. He didn't really do anything wrong apart from just be slow. He did hold a couple of drivers up with the blue flags, but probably Mazepin's best weekend of the season so far. It wouldn't be hard, but you got to be honest, it's probably his best weekend of the race of the season. He is consistent. No, he's consistently shite, but today I don't think he was shite.
Held up a few people as well.
I think he was all right. So
held up Norris in qualifying.
I'm going to give him a 3. I think he did all right. I say did all right. I think he did a lot better than he's been doing. So
I'll give him a 2 because he got penalty points added to his license.
Right, 2.5 then for Mazepin.
Right.
Moving on to his teammate
Schumacher,
who I thought actually did well today. Yesterday out qualified Nicholas Latifi in the Williams, which I thought was good, and then today he was actually battling with some of the other cars. He was battling with both Williams drivers. He was ahead of the Williams drivers for a decent period of the race. In the end, he still finished a lap down, or 2 laps down on the race winner Lewis Hamilton, but he finished about 40 seconds ahead of his teammate. It's hard to compare. It's hard to compare with Mick Schumacher's day when his teammate is kind of shit. But I felt like he had a good weekend. I'll give Mick Schumacher a 7 out of 10. I think he was pretty good this weekend. But again, it is hard to compare him when his teammate is Mazepin.
Yes, I'll agree. I'll give him a 7 because the Haas is by far the worst car on the grid. But out qualifying your teammate by that, beating Latifi's good. Next up, we've got Williams. Let's start off with Latifi. I'm going to give him. I'll give him a 3. He's just not that good.
Yeah, I think a 3's
you can't get out qualified by a Haas, mate.
I think a 3's fair. I don't think he was any better than Mazepin, really, was he? Qualified 19th. He managed to finish 16th in the race, but I mean, are we going to give him any credit for finishing ahead of Mick Schumacher in the Haas and finish ahead of Fernando, who pitted late on because his tyres were absolutely dead? For me, no. 3 out of 10. You could have maybe gave him 4, but I'm going to stick with 3.
I feel like Williams actually gave both their drivers a great strategy today, and they both bottled it.
Yeah, overall, it's Latifi did make 3 pits, so I don't know. It's a 3 for me. I don't think the guy's that good, to be fair. Probably shouldn't be an F1.
But he is, and I wouldn't say his Sunday performances are much off. The next guy we're going to talk about, George Russell. I'm going to give him a 5 because he did get into Q2, but his Sundays are garbage. I'm sorry, they are.
I'll give him
he seems to bottle it every time.
I'll give him a 6. I think getting out of Q1's pretty good, and he was running the points for a decent portion of this race, but he just really couldn't keep them. There was one part of the race where he lost about 4 positions in a space of 3 corners, which is, I don't even know how you do that. But yeah, I mean, Russell, I guess he's doing an okay job in a car that just is. It's not good enough to be where he wants to be now. It's at the moment probably scoring points. I'll give him a 6. So
Valtteri Bottas' his seat, big man.
Well, we'll average Russell out then at 5.5.
Yep. Next up, we have got Alfa Romeo. Giovannati, decent qualifying. I feel like he's battered Kimi in qualifying this year, but the race wasn't as good as Kimi's, so I'm going to give him.
Well, you say that, but the big issue at the start, it didn't help him getting put into the back of the grid. Yeah. Giovannati, I'll give him a 5. I feel like I'm being a bit harsh giving them a 5, but
I'm going to give both of them I'm going to give both of them a 5 because I feel like they actually had a lot more promise, especially Kimi.
Yeah, I'll give Kimi a 5 as well. I mean,
quali got 17th, and I feel like, I mean, in free practice 3 they're in the top 10, both of them. I think
this could be Kimi's last season.
Yeah, I feel like
his first season when he moved to Alfa Romeo, he did a great job.
Even last year,
but I think last year.
Well, hold on, he was beating Vettel in a lot of races, and the car's nowhere.
Yeah, but so was Giovannati.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying don't. I don't think both of them were having.
I think you need to compare him to his teammate, and I think when Giovannati's beginning to outperform you throughout the season,
you're done.
Yeah, so I think this could be his last season.
Yeah, so 2 5s there, right on the money. Next up, we have got Tsunoda
knocked out in Q1.
and retired really early on.
Yes,
I'm going to give this a...
For me, it's a lowest. I'll give him a 2.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2.
So there you go. Mazepin is 2.5 overall. Is not the shittest driver of the weekend.
This guy's overrated by everyone in the community.
Yeah, this guy came in.
What did he fucking do?
They're on about, oh, he came in and he's going to deliver. He's going to push Pierre Gasly. This could be the next guy. He could be in the next Red Bull seat.
I mean, you could strap Kvyat to his name tag in this, and I haven't noticed the difference.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I think you could honestly make a case Albon be doing a better job.
No, you could. I know. I never thought I'd be.
I mean,
never thought I'd hear that.
If it was me, I think I'd have put Albon back in AlphaTauri over this guy. But you know, that's what it is. I believe Tsunoda's better than Kvyat or Albon. No, I don't. So a 2 out of 10 for him. As for Pierre Gasly,
I'm going to give...
First time this season he didn't go to Q2.
Yeah, I feel like the AlphaTauri's not
But
as good now.
I mean, yeah, but the fact that Tsunoda couldn't get to Q1, we can't really hold that too much against Pierre Gasly.
I'll give Gasly a 6.
Yeah, solid recovery driving the race to get back into the points. So he got a singular point, no bad. Yeah, it was a decent race, weekend. I don't think there was much more in that AlphaTauri. I think he almost got Ocon, so he could have had an extra point. But apart from that, could he really have finished any higher than 9th today?
Probably
I don't
not.
really see it. So I think a 6 probably fair for him.
Yep, next up we've got Alpine. We'll go with the 2-time world champion Alonso. I think not that good.
No,
I think the strategy didn't help and he had engine problems, but I mean, if Ocon's getting 5th, you shouldn't be getting 10th if you're Alonso.
yeah, I'm going to give Alonso a 4 here.
I'm gonna give him I'll give him a 4. I was going to say 3, but he did have a lot of issues and they just left him out to dry.
Didn't really do much in the race. He was getting overtaken by drivers that I don't think are anywhere near his sort of level. Yeah, I mean, he did get into Q3, but so did Ocon, and he looked a lot more impressive in doing it. Ocon managed to hold this strategy today. Didn't really help Alonso. Him finishing 17th isn't really a true reflection of where he should have finished today. But even then, he wouldn't have got points, and I think that has to be considered
A failure.
a massive failure,
Yeah.
considering how strong Alpine looked, especially in practice, free and quali. So I'll give Alonso a 4. Ocon,
I'll give
I think I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, I was going to give him higher, but the strategy killed him. If he finished like 6th, you could have given him like a 9 or something. But
Yeah, maybe a 7's harsh, but yeah, I could see him getting an 8. But I think, or did I give him a 7? Or did I give him an 8? Esteban Ocon. You know what? He got. I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to give him an 8. I think he did get 5th on the grid. He did do alright in this race, and then his tyres kind of went off towards the end. I think I am going to give him 8.
Right, I'll give him 8. Yeah, I agree because you couldn't do much about the strategy. There's a few drivers who got shafted by a 1-stop, and he was one of them. I think he got 5th for a car that's not.
He was the highest finisher outside Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and McLaren, and I don't think the Alpine really have the pace of them. So
Yeah, exactly.
if you look at it from that perspective, I think 9th is about the highest he could get, and he got it. Plus he had a great quality, so 8 out of 10 for me.
Yep. Next up, we've got McLaren. Norris finished 8th, qualified 9th. This guy's had a great season so far, but this is one of his off days, I think.
An off day, but still not horrible for me. I think.
Yeah, I just feel the McLaren's. I feel like the McLaren should have been higher up. I'll give him a.
I think I'll give him a 5, maybe a 6.
I'll give him a 6.
I'll give him a 5, 5.5.
Boom. Right, next up with Danny Ricciardo, the Honey Badger. This guy's out-qualified Norris 3-1, which you wouldn't think.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that. Out-qualified him again this weekend. Finished higher than him in the race. Held Perez behind for a long time. I'd say it's definitely Danny Rick's strongest race of the season.
Quali 6th.
But still, I think it was amazing. No.
I'll give him a 7. It was kind of just like your run-of-the-mill.
I'll give him a 7. I think 7's a bit fair.
Yes, and now we've got Ferrari. Forza Ferrari. We've got
Well, we're not
Sainz.
going to comment about Aston Martin, or?
Oh fuck! I forgot. No, well, I was doing a constructions order of last season, but constructors. Yes, Aston. But I forgot about them. They're that pish. Right. Seb Vettel qualified 13th, finished 13th. The guy, in my opinion, I think he's done. And,
Yeah, out-qualified by Lance, out-raced by Lance. I mean,
he did get a slow stop, so I'll give him a bit.
I'll give him a 4. And I think that's me being generous. I think a 4's been...
Lance Stroll, I'll give...
You know what, he was unlucky not to get a point. He out-qualified Vettel again, but nothing spectacular. I'll give Stroll a 5.
Yeah, I'll give him a 5.
If he sneaked into the points, I'd give him a 6, but he didn't, so I think a 5's more than fair.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if Vettel doesn't get points this year. Obviously, with retirements and shit, you can't expect it, but the way it's going, he's not going to get it on merit.
Yeah, he's going to need retirements or to
I feel like this was probably Aston Martin's strongest track. I feel like they were a lot closer to the rest.
Well, maybe they'll get that rule change that they keep bitching about. Anyway, moving on to Ferrari.
Carlos Sainz qualified 6th, so where'd Ricciardo qualify? 7th.
Sainz qualified 6th. Kind of went a wee bit backwards in the start of the race there, lost a few possessions, ended up bringing it home in 7th place. I thought it was a solid drive from Carlos Sainz.
All he did was get beat by Perez, who's in a much faster
Yeah,
car,
I feel like he'd done a wee bit unlucky, and obviously Danny Ricciardo leapfrogged him early in the race. I think I'll give Sainz a 7. I think it was
it was kind of just like Ricciardo.
Yeah, it was a good drive, you know. That's what it is. I think he should have probably finished ahead of Ricciardo, but
next up we've got Charlie Boyle Leclerc. I feel like this guy was driver of the day. Couldn't have done much more.
For me, it's a 9. Qualified 4th.
If he got third and held off Bottas, I give him a 10, but he didn't. And yeah, I can't really blame him for that. So yeah, I agree with a 9.
To me, a 10. I think you need to be phenomenal. And I mean, Leclerc was
holding off Bottas would have been.
Yeah, well, Leclerc was great today, but I can't really give him any more than a 9. But you know, he was, like I said, he was solid. His fastest lap was a lot faster than most people. He actually had a faster lap than Lewis Hamilton as well, which is pretty interesting. Right. He finished miles ahead of, you know, the other guys that he's battling with, like the McLarens and obviously his teammate. He was quite a long way further up the road than those guys.
And he only did the pit stop at the end to get fastest laps.
And it equals Ferrari's highest finish in God knows how long. It's been
Turkish Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's, you know, so
it's not that long ago, like, but yeah,
it's long enough.
It's like 7 races. It's not like, oh, it was 10 years ago, buddy.
Right. Well.
Anyway, talking about Pish.
So you give them a 9 as well?
Aye, I'll give him a 9. Right. Perez, I'm going to give him a. I'm going to give him a. I was going to say 4. Is that? Yeah, I'll give him a 5.
If I was basing it on the race, I'd probably give him like a 7. But I got to keep in mind qualifying, right? He had a big mistake in Q3 where he spun the car and then he could only qualify 8th in the grid. So that's taking a lot at the rating. Qualifying, I'd probably give him like a 3.
Yeah, I mean,
race, I'd give him like a 7. So
I
a 5.
personally don't think he would have beat Leclerc even if he never got held up by Ricciardo. I know he's only 9 seconds behind him there, but.
I'm giving them a 5. You know, he had a good race, but a disastrous qualifying. So I think a middle of the run 5 is about as fair as you can go, really.
Compared to what the other Red Bull driver used to do, not too bad. Right, next up we've got Verstappen.
Qualified 2nd, got a good start, took the lead.
Did all he could.
I just don't feel like he had Hamilton's pace today at all.
No.
I felt he was quite a bit slower than Hamilton. But again, is it Verstappen's fault he didn't win, or is it Red Bull's fault?
Yes,
I'm leaning towards more the Red Bull side of things. I think Max had a good race, but it was a Max Verstappen race. He had a good. Did you do anything great? I don't think so. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8. It's not a 9. It's just.
If he'd have won, you know, qualified 2nd, beats Hamilton after the line, holds on. If he wins the race, he's probably, you know, a 9, but he didn't. So
he didn't. Next up, Mercedes, the world champs. We've got Valtteri Bottas. So I love to rate this guy.
Qualified 3rd, finished 3rd.
I'm giving him a fucking. I'm giving him a 5. I don't care. I don't give a shit if he was close in qualifying. Cause seeing it comes to the race, everything he does is wrong.
I'll give him a 6, but.
Right, let's be real though, right?
Wait, I'm giving him a 6, and that's really 3rd's like the lowest he can finish.
Like, let's be real, guys. See into that turn 1, he should have
had Hamilton
back on, and see if Bottas does that. I think Max wins this race.
Or Hamilton just overtakes Bottas, like fucking.
I know.
Sweat.
But look how hard it was for them to overtake. I don't see.
I think I'll give Bottas a 6. I think he was actually pretty good in qualifying. He did look pretty strong this weekend, but again in the race when it matters most, he falls back at the beginning. He gets stuck behind Leclerc. That effectively takes him at the battle for the top two. Safety car brings him back in. He can't really overtake Leclerc. I think you can't really give him any more than a 6.
No.
So I'll give him a 6. You give him
Bog
a 5.
standard, get in the bin, get somebody else in.
Well, so average it at 5.5 for Bottas. And then last but not least, with Lewis Hamilton, put it on pole, got the win. I'd say he was comfortably the fastest driver of the day. For me, it's an 8. He did what Lewis Hamilton does. He's in the fastest car, guys. Come on, and he got pole with the fastest car, and he managed to leapfrog Max due to a better strategy. You can't really give him. I mean, it wasn't phenomenal. Like, to me, he wasn't driver of the day.
He overtook a guy on tyres who were dead. He followed the guy, and he's in a much quicker car by the looks of it. At least, you know, yeah. I mean, it's an 8. That's it. He does what Lewis Hamilton does. Wins.
So Lewis Hamilton getting an 8. Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen both getting 8s, but Charles Leclerc with our
9
driver of the day. Then a big 9 for Charlie.
Oh.
And yeah, it was Yuki Tsunoda, lowest rated driver of the weekend, with a 2.
Not good for him. He'll be looking to improve in Monaco.
Well, Monaco normally does neutralise the car performances a wee bit, so I'll be interested to see what happens in Monaco.
I think Red Bull need to win. They need a 1-2.
If Bottas is going to beat Hamilton, I don't think Monaco's going to be the track where he does it. If I'm being honest. Anyway,
although it's a track where Hamilton can't overtake him if he gets ahead, so you never know.
Well, when you put it like that. Anyway, that's it for your driver ratings.
And until then,
no one getting the perfect 10.
Perfect 10.
Anyway, that's it. Peace.
Ty Dellinger.